Welcome to the STEM Tutor channel. We continue our series of solving hard SAT problems, and we start off with the algebra portion. Here we're given a line K that intersects the y-axis at point 0, -6, and another point which is 2, 2, and we have to find the value of W if the same line K passes through point 20, W. Okay. So let's take the first point as x1, y1 is equal to 0, -6. Also, x2, y2 is going to be equal to 2, 2. Okay. We can find the slope m of this line k by the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is going to be 2 minus 6 divided by 2 minus 0. And so this becomes 2 plus 6 over 2, which is 8 over 2, 4. So our slope for this line is 4. Since the line K intersects the y-axis at this point 0, -6, -6 is our y-intercept, okay? And so our equation of the line is going to be y equals 4x minus 6. 4 is our slope, -6 is our y-intercept, okay? Now, in order to find the W value for a given point at x equals 20, we will just plug in x equals 20 into this equation. So we'll get W is going to be equal to 4 times 20 minus 6, which is going to be equal to 80 minus 6, which is 74. So our value for W is 74. Our next problem deals with equivalent expressions in the advanced math portion. We're given here two functions here, f of x and g of x, and we have to find which of the following expressions is equivalent to f of x over g of x for x is greater than 3. Okay, so let's look at this. So we have f of x is going to be equal to x cubed minus 9x, and we can factor out x from this, and we get x times x squared minus 9. And the x squared minus 9 is the product of sum and difference. So this becomes x times x minus 3, x plus 3. Okay, so this is what f of x is. Similarly, g of x is going to be x squared minus 2x minus 3. Okay. We can factor this out as well, where if we make this as -2 as m plus n and -3 as m times n. Okay. So the two numbers that work here is m is going to be equal to -3 and n is going to be equal to 1. Okay, so we get g of x is going to be equal to x squared minus 3x plus x minus 3, and we get x times x minus 3 plus 1 times x minus 3, and so this becomes x plus 1 times x minus 3. Okay, so finally f of x over g of x becomes x times x minus 3 times x plus 3 over x plus 1 times x minus 3. We can cancel out x minus 3 from the numerator and denominator, and we're left with x times x plus 3 over x plus 1, which is option D. We continue with the geometry and trigonometry portion, dealing with area and volume. Here we're given a right circular cylinder with radius small r and height small h, and we have another bigger cylinder with radius uppercase R and height uppercase H, and that bigger cylinder is 392 times as large as the cylinder, the smaller one given in the figure. Okay, and we are trying to find what could be the value of uppercase R in terms of small r and uppercase H in terms of small h. We know that the area of a cylinder is pi r square h. Okay, and so the area of the large cylinder would be pi times uppercase r square times uppercase h. Okay, so the proportion of the large cylinder area divided by the smaller cylinder is given to us as 392. And also, according to the formula, we get AL over AA, which is the area of the large cylinder over the area of the standard cylinder given here, is going to be pi times small r square, big R square h divided by pi times small r square small h. So we'll divide this by this and we'll get r square, uppercase R square over h divided by smaller square r square over h is going to be equal to 392. Okay, so the best way forward is to start plugging it in. Okay, so for option A, we plug in 8r square times 7h over r square h, and that becomes 64 times 7 r square h over r square h. R square h cancel each other out, and we get 448, which is not 392, so A is not the correct answer. B is we're going to do the same thing. So 8r square times 49h over r square h is going to be equal to 64 times 49 r square h over r square h, which is going to be equal to 3136, which is incorrect also. Finally, we'll look at C, and we'll get 8r square times, 7r square times 8h over r square h. So we'll get 49 times 8r square h over r square h, and this is equal to 392, which is what we're looking for, and so C is the correct answer. Finally, we come to the problem solving and data analysis portion and a percentages problem. Here we're given that the school district is forming a committee to discuss plans for the construction of a new high school, and we're given the percentages of who will be part of that committee. So 15% parents, 45% teachers, 25% of administrators, but the number of students are given rather than a percentage. Okay. And the final thing that we're asked here is how many more teachers invited than the school and district admins. Okay. So let's first figure out the percentage of students that are in this committee, right? And the percentage of students is just going to be equal to the 100% minus the other percentages combined, okay? So 15 for parents plus 45 for teachers plus 25 for admins. And so we got 100 minus 60 plus 25 is 85. So that's 100 minus 85, which is going to be 15%. Okay. So the percentage of students is 15. This percentage of students equals 6 individuals, right? So let's say X is the total number of members in the committee. Okay. That means that 15% of X, so 0.15 X is going to be equal to 6. So the total number of committee members is going to be equal to 6 divided by 0.15. Okay. Which is going to be equal to 40. So there are 40 members in this committee. Okay. So the number of teachers is going to be equal to 45%. So it's going to be 45 over 100 times 40, which is going to be equal to 18. And the number of admins is going to be equal to 25 over 100 times 40, which is going to be equal to 10. And so the difference here is the difference in the number of teachers versus the admins is going to be 18 minus 10, which is going to be 8. So 8 more teachers are invited to join the committee than the school and district admins.